Hey cuties, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making some super decadent fudge brownies. And while we do that, we are going to be discussing a super important topic, and that is why some people disappear into their relationships. Today's recipe will make a batch of about 8 to 10 brownies depending on how you cut them. But if you'd like the recipe to be doubled or tripled, go ahead and drop a comment below and I'll help you out with the measurements. Today's recipe will mostly be a one bowl recipe, so you don't have to worry about dirtying a bunch of dishes. All right, let's get into it. First, you're going to add your melted butter. Make sure you add it while it's still warm. Next, we're going to add in our sugar, our cocoa powder, our vanilla extract, and our salt. Now we're going to go ahead and give that a little whisk, whisk, whisk. Now, although this video was requested by a subscriber, this is a topic that is super important to me because I was that girl. When I got into my first serious relationship, I just went ghost on everybody. I centered my entire life around that individual, and there were so many reasons why. The first being that I was in the good old honeymoon phase. You all know that phase. It's the super early, super intense part of your relationship where you just want to spend every waking moment with that person. The sun will rise and the sun will set on that person. Everything is just so perfect and everything is just so brand new and wonderful. I was riding a real emotional high. When you're in this phase of the relationship, you literally feel like you're on cloud nine. The next reason is something that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. I have never seen a healthy relationship modeled for me at all in my entire life. So I didn't understand healthy relationship dynamic. I didn't understand having balance with my relationships and friendships. And the person I was dating at the time was very experienced and definitely took advantage of how naive I was. All right, now that this is all super mixed up and smooth, we are going to add in our eggs one at a time. Pro tip. If you don't have eggs, because girl, I get it, this economy, you can substitute for 1/4 cup of applesauce. Now I have eggs, so I'm not going to make the substitution, but if you do substitute, 1/4 equals 1 egg and it helps moisten your brownie. Okay, now that that's all mixed in together, we are going to add in our flour. And you want to stir until just combined. Do not overmix. No tough brownies. Soft, fudgy brownies. Now it's all combined and take a look at this batter. Oh, thick. This is what you want. Super thick batter. Okay, the recipe didn't call for this, but I love to add a little bit of cinnamon. I love adding cinnamon to my brownie. I'm just going to pour till the ancestors tell me to stop. I also love the smell that the cinnamon adds. It smells so good right now. Great. Now that that's all combined, you are going to take your 8x8 dish, preferably 8x8. I only have a 9x9, so that's what we're working with today. As you can see, it's pre-greased. You can also line it with parchment paper if you want, but I just do it the old-fashioned way and just grease it. Since I did a 9x9 dish, my brownies are going to be a little thin, but if you do it 8x8, then they'll be thicker. Also, if you want to do a 9x9, you can double the recipe. All right, now let's pour the brownies in. I finished pouring in the batter, so now we're going to bake at 325 for 22 to 28 minutes. I'm going to most likely check at the 24-minute mark, test it with a toothpick or a fork, and if it comes out clean, we're good to go. All right, those are baking, so let's get back to the reasons why some people might lose themselves in a relationship. Another reason why I personally lost myself in a relationship was that I didn't know how to set boundaries. I truthfully did not know how to show up for myself and show up for others, all while maintaining a relationship. I just didn't know how to do it. So there was a lack of balance and a lack of communication. Another big reason is that my partner was very good at isolating me. I was very isolated from my friends and family, and they did it in some ways that were subtle and other not so subtle ways. Second to last reason was a fear of judgment. I was very afraid of being judged by my friends and family because they had already expressed certain things about this person that they did not like, certain things about this person that they knew was not right. And they ended up being right about this person in the end. But I was just too afraid to speak up. And I was just too afraid to hear the I told you so's. So I just stayed. Lastly, I did not understand the impact. A lot of people who lose themselves in relationships don't understand the impact that their absence has on the people who love them, their friends and family. I honestly didn't think it was a big deal that I hadn't reached out to so and so, that I hadn't texted so and so back. I honestly thought it was no big deal to them. Now that we've listed our reasons, it's time to come up with a solution. These are solutions on how to not lose yourself in a relationship. The first solution is very important. Understand that you exist outside of this person. You are your own being with goals, passions, hobbies, and interests. You have to make sure you have at least 2 to 3 hobbies or interests that you do without this person, whether it be with other friends or whether you do it alone. Do not do everything with this person. I know that when you're in love, especially in the earlier stages of love, it's easy to want to do every single thing with this person, but don't do it. That's how codependency creeps in. And codependency is very hard to break when you're in the thick of it. The next solution is to stay in touch. Stay in touch with your friends and family. What you don't water will wither. You need to make sure, even if it's just a text or a call every once in a while, that you're staying connected to the people that you love and the people that love you. As much energy as you're pouring into this relationship, you need to be pouring into the other people in your life who've loved you and been there before you met this person. The last solution is to check in with yourself regularly. You need to take time to ask yourself how you feel outside of this relationship. Are you still prioritizing your goals, your wants, your needs, your passions, your interests? Are you still growing? Are you still you? Or are you shrinking yourself to be able to survive in their world? Self-checks are super important and they help us stay grounded. So I guess 24 was the magic number after all because our brownies are done. Woo! Now time for my favorite part of the video, a snack after a yap. Let's try our creation. I'm just gonna smell. Oh, I can smell the cinnamon and it's taking the brownies to the next level. Super tasty. I'm super happy with these brownies. I will say though, I added a little bit more sugar than what the recipe called for. So, sometimes you just gotta tweak things to your liking. The middle is fudgy, but there's like a slight crisp on the edge, and I really like that. In conclusion, relationships, like everything else, are great in moderation, but too much can turn into a bad thing very fast. Relationships come and go, but you are stuck with you for your entire life. Never forget your importance and never give up on or defer your goals or dreams for anybody else. Every time you visit, it's truly a treat for me. So in return, I will always have a treat for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts on today's recipe. And I would love to hear any ideas for videos you would like to see moving forward. Don't be shy. Go ahead and drop a comment. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.